So, hi everyone, and thank you for joining me. So, today we are going to explore one of the most confusing and painful relationship patterns that many of us experience: trauma bonding, or what I call addictive love. If you have ever found yourself desperately attached to someone who hurts you, if you have felt that intoxicating mix of pain and pleasure, or if you keep choosing partners who feel familiar but leave you feeling empty, this exploration might help you. Now, let me explain what trauma bonding actually is, because I feel it's one of the most misunderstood relationship patterns, yet so many of us have experienced it at some point. Imagine you're a child, and the people who are supposed to love and protect you are unpredictable. Sometimes they are warm and loving, sometimes they're angry and distant, sometimes they're unavailable. So your little nervous system doesn't know when love will come and when it will be taken away. So you learn to stay constantly alert, constantly trying to earn love, and constantly walking on eggshells. And here is what happens. Your brain starts to associate love with that feeling of uncertainty, that rush of relief when things are good again, or that constant effort to win affection. Now, fast forward to adult relationships. Your nervous system is still looking for that familiar pattern. It mistakes intensity for intimacy, chaos for passion, and anxiety of will they love me today for a deep connection. Now, trauma bonding isn't just being attached to someone who treats you badly. It's when your body becomes literally addicted to the emotional roller coaster of being in a relationship. The high you feel when they finally text you back after ignoring you, the relief when they are finally nice to you after being cruel, the way conflict followed by makeup feels more intense than steady, peaceful love. Now, your brain produces powerful chemicals during these cycles, the same ones involved in addiction. So we get dopamine when they give you attention, adrenaline during conflicts, cortisol from the stress, and oxytocin during the brief moments of connection. And this chemical cocktail can make you feel more alive and more in love than you've ever felt, even though the relationship that you're in may be destroying your peace, your self-worth, and your health. Now, the most painful part in all of this, trauma bonding often feels like the deepest and most passionate love you've ever experienced. People in stable, healthy relationships might seem boring because your nervous system is wired for intensity. And you might find yourself saying things even years, weeks, months after the relationship has ended. I have never felt this connected to anyone. Or they are your soulmate. And you're talking about someone that may have consistently hurt you. But this isn't love. This is your nervous system trying to heal old wounds by recreating familiar patterns. Desperately hoping that this time, only if you love hard enough, if you try hard enough, if you're perfect enough, you'll finally get the consistent love you needed as a child. So today we are going to help your body learn the difference between trauma bonding and genuine love, between intensity and intimacy, between familiar dysfunction and actual safety. We are also going to give your nervous system new information about what healthy attachment can feel like. So if it resonates, find a comfortable position where you feel safe to explore these places in your heart. Trauma bonding often comes with shame. So we are going to approach this work with infinite compassion for the parts of you that learn to love in survival mode. Let's begin with 3 breaths that acknowledge the courage that it takes to examine your relationship patterns. So breathing in, compassion for the part of you that learned to love in chaos. And breathing out, releasing any shame about your relationship choices. Breathing in, understanding for your nervous system's attempts to heal. And breathing out, judgment about past relationships or partners. Breathing in, your innate worthiness of stable, healthy love. And breathing out into this moment here with me where healing is possible. Now, place one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Feel your heartbeat, your breath, just the natural rhythms of your body. Now, this is what regulation feels like: steady, predictable, and safe. And your nervous system knows this feeling. Even if it's been a while since you've experienced it in a relationship. Now at this stage, if you're comfortable, you're very welcome to close your eyes if you haven't done so already. Now let's start by exploring how trauma bonding actually feels like in your body, because understanding these sensations can help you recognize when you are in one of these patterns. Now, past or present, think about a relationship that felt intensely addictive. Maybe one you're in now, or from your past. And it's not necessarily the worst relationship, but one that felt the most consuming and the most I can't live without them. As you bring this relationship to mind, notice what happens in your body right now. Do you feel maybe a tightness in your chest? Like you can't quite catch your breath? Maybe a fluttering anxious energy in your stomach, tension in your shoulders like you're bracing for impact, a racing heart, even thinking about them, a sense of urgency like you need to do something. Now, this is what your nervous system feels like when it's addicted to someone. It's the same activation you'll feel if you were in actual danger, because your body has learned that love is dangerous and it comes with a threat of abandonment, rejection, or emotional injury. Now, contrast this with how your body feels when you think about someone who's consistently kind to you. Maybe a friend, a family member, or even a pet. Just notice the difference now. Bringing to mind now someone who's kind to me and noticing the subtle changes in my body just based on how my nervous system reacts. With healthy attachment, your nervous system can actually relax. Your breathing deepens, your shoulders drop, and you feel a warm expansion in your chest rather than an anxious contraction. And this is what safety feels like in a relationship. But if you're used to trauma bonding, safety might feel boring, flat, or even wrong. Your nervous system might interpret the absence of drama as the absence of love. And this is the addiction talking. Intensity equals intimacy. This is the addiction talking. Now, let's explore where these patterns may have begun for you. Because trauma bonds don't happen in a vacuum. They are usually attempts to recreate and heal our earliest relationship wounds. Take your awareness now back to your childhood home. Absolutely no right or wrong way to do this. Whatever shows up for you is exactly what you need to see, feel, or sense today. Take your awareness back to your childhood home. What was the emotional atmosphere like between adults or between adults and children? Was love consistent and predictable? Or did it come and go based on moods, behaviors, or circumstances? Did you have to earn affection by being good, helpful, or perfect? Were there explosive fights followed by sweet reconciliations? Did someone withdraw their love when they were angry? Was there addiction, mental illness, or trauma in the house that made love feel dangerous or unstable? Now, children will bond with their caregivers no matter how they are treated, because attachment is literally a survival mechanism. If your caregivers are inconsistent, chaotic, or emotionally unavailable, you didn't stop loving them, you just learned to love in chaos. And you might have developed what's called hypervigilant love, constantly monitoring your caregiver's mood, trying to predict when they are available or not available, walking on eggshells to avoid triggering them or their anger or their withdrawal. And you then learn to become an expert at loving someone who couldn't love you back consistently. And now, as an adult, your nervous system looks for this familiar pattern. It feels most at home in relationships that require constant vigilance, constant earning of love, constant uncertainty about where you stand. And the chaos feels like home because it is home. It's what your nervous system learned was normal. Take a moment now to offer compassion to your younger self who learned to love this way. They were doing their best to survive and maintain connection with the people they needed the most. There is nothing wrong with how you learn to love, but you get to choose how to love now. Now, your nervous system actually knows what healthy love feels like, even if your mind has forgotten. So let's help your body remember that now. So at this stage, you can place both your hands on your heart and imagine the most peaceful, safest environment you've ever experienced. Maybe it's in nature, maybe it's with a pet, or maybe it's in a moment of deep meditation or prayer. The most beautiful, safest environment I've ever been in. Feel how your body responds to this safety. Notice your breathing becomes deeper and slower. Your muscles soften and release tension. Your heart rate becomes steady and calm, and you may feel held and supported rather than activated and anxious. Now, this is what your nervous system feels like in a healthy relationship. There is no urgency. There's no walking on eggshells. There's no constant anxiety about losing love. There's a deep sense of being seen, accepted, and valued exactly as you are. Now, to hardwire this feeling into the body, imagine being in a relationship with someone who is consistently kind to you, not just when they want something. Someone who sees your needs as important. Someone who communicates clearly instead of leaving you guessing. Someone who supports your growth instead of trying to keep you small to feel secure. Notice how your body responds to imagining this kind of love. If it feels boring or flat compared to the intensity that you're used to, that's your addiction talking. Your nervous system is so accustomed to drama that peace feels wrong. But this is what love actually is: a steady, nourishing presence that allows you to relax in yourself rather than constantly performing for affection. Now let's work directly with your nervous system to help it develop new patterns and new associations with love and connection. The next time you feel that familiar rush of anxiety about someone, whether it's excitement because they finally texted back or anxiety because they're pulling away, practice the pause. Place your hand on your heart if it's not there already, and then ask yourself in that moment, is this feeling familiar from childhood? What does my nervous system think is happening right now? Breathing in, I am safe in this moment. Breathing out, I do not need to chase or cling to love. Now, this simple practice helps you recognize when you are in an addiction pattern versus when you are responding to actual love. Another tool: if healthy relationships feel boring to you, you need to retrain your nervous system to find peace exciting and drama exhausting. Think of a relationship in your life that feels steady and predictable. Maybe a good friend, a family member, or even your relationship with your pet. And just feel how your body relaxes when you think about this. Now send your nervous system the message. This is what safety feels like. This is what I'm looking for in romantic love too. Not the absence of excitement, but the presence of trust. Not the absence of excitement, but the presence of trust. Now, with your hands on your heart, repeat after me silently or out loud, or simply receive my words. I release the need to save anyone else. I am not responsible for healing other people's trauma. My love alone cannot fix someone who is not ready to heal. I choose partners who are already doing their own work, not projects for me to complete. I release the need to save anyone else. I am not responsible for healing other people's trauma. My love alone cannot fix someone who is not ready to heal. I choose partners who are already doing their work, not projects for me to complete. Just feel how your body responds to these words, to these statements. You might feel a relief, or you might feel resistance. Both are normal responses. You're literally rewiring decades of conditioning. Any warmth, cold, tingling sensations in the body, just let them stay. They're all part of this healing. Now, as you heal from trauma bonding addiction, here's what we are dropping into the body. Here's what to look for in healthy relationships. Now, healthy love shows up reliably. They text back in reasonable time frames. They follow through on their plans. They don't disappear and reappear based on their moods. The connection deepens through shared experiences and emotional intimacy, not through dramatic highs and lows. Now, a healthy partner also notices when you're activated or triggered and helps you co-regulate rather than escalate the situation. They don't use your triggers against you or create more chaos when you're already overwhelmed. In healthy relationships, you go through feeling supported and encouraged, not through constantly having to prove your worth or fight for your place. A healthy partner has their own friends, own interests, and own identity. They choose to be with you from fullness, not from emptiness or desperation. There is interdependence rather than codependence. Notice how your body feels as we describe these healthy patterns. You are absolutely worthy of consistent, peaceful, nourishing love. The intensity you've been addicted to isn't passion. It's your nervous system running on survival chemicals. Real passion comes from feeling safe enough to completely be with yourself. All the healthy patterns, all the rewiring, all the changes, the sensations, the feelings, just let your body do what it's doing. If you think you're still in some sort of a process, or you're still feeling the need to stay in this space longer, you are very welcome to pause this meditation. As we begin to close this journey, let's integrate what you've discovered about trauma bonding and healthy love. Take a moment to appreciate the courage it took to examine these patterns, not just through words, by finding them in your body. Many people stay unconscious about relationship addiction their entire lives, wondering why love feels so hard, so painful, so exhausting. From this new awareness that you brought in today, set an intention for how you want to approach relationships moving forward. It can be something like, I will notice when my nervous system is addicted to someone rather than attracted to them. I will practice sitting with the discomfort of healthy love, even when it feels boring compared to intensity. I will look for partners who already feel peaceful, not projects that make me feel good about myself. I will trust that consistent kindness is more valuable than occasional grand gestures. Remember, breaking trauma bonding patterns take time. Your nervous system may have been running these for years. Just be patient with yourself as you learn to distinguish between genuine chemistry and dysfunction. You might find yourself initially bored by people who are actually good for you, or still drawn to people who activate your old patterns. And this is normal. The key here is awareness, noticing what's happening and making conscious choices rather than unconscious reactions. Before we complete this journey, let me give you a simple daily practice to continue healing these patterns. Each morning, place your hand on your heart and ask yourself, what does my nervous system need to feel safe in a relationship today? And a reflection in the evening, did I choose connection or addiction today? Did I move towards people who regulated my nervous system or activated it? And when you feel that familiar intensity about someone, maybe pause and ask, is this love? Or is this my nervous system recognizing a familiar pattern of dysfunction? I now want you to feel this truth into your body. You are worthy of love that doesn't require you to walk on eggshells, love that doesn't demand you abandon yourself, and love that feels like coming home. Once again, place both your hands on your heart. Feel your own loving presence. This is the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself. And when you learn to offer yourself the consistent, kind, reliable love that you've been seeking from the world, you become capable of recognizing and receiving it from others too. Your trauma bonding patterns were never your fault. They were just addictive responses as a result of early childhood experiences. But now you have all the awareness and all the tools to choose differently. Begin to feel your body now in this space. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, coming back to the moment, carrying this new understanding. Thank you very much for having the courage to examine these deep patterns. thank you for believing that you deserve better rather than addictive love. Thank you and namaste.